you've had your Medicare supplement for several years, especially if you didn't get it from a carrier that we recommended. You may have a very, very high premium, much higher than you anticipated it would have climbed in those years. And so a lot of times we have people that are calling us to change, and when they're not in an enrollment period, like an open enrollment period or a guaranteed issue period, they have to be underwritten. So we have to answer health questions to get them approved for a new plan. This doesn't mean you have to have a perfect clean bill of health and take no prescriptions, but it does mean that certain people may have to choose certain companies based on their health history. One thing I'm going to go over in this video, or the main thing I'll go over, is cancer and having a cancer history or having cancer and getting a Medicare supplement. It all will boil down to when did you have cancer, what medications are you taking, what type of cancer you had, things like that. So I'm just going to go over, I've written down a few, I'm not going to get company specific. I'm not sure that they would appreciate me shedding light on the loopholes in their underwriting, but I'm just going to go through and go over 5 companies. Company A that I looked at has a 3-year look-back period for internal cancer, malignant melanoma. That's actually the only two. They'll look back for 3 years for internal cancer and malignant melanoma, and they do have a pretty extensive declinable drug list, so they can look. I'm not going to go over all of those drugs. There's several of them. There are some common ones like Aramacin, things like that. Certain companies will decline for. So their look back for internal cancer and malignant melanoma is 3 years. And basically the way those look backs work, they'll say if you've been advised to have treatment for or been treated for, and treatment will be defined as taken medication for or had surgery for. That would be how they define treatment. In certain circumstances, if you had say you had breast cancer 5 years ago and you've been cleared of it since then, but you take a medication, in certain cases you would still be approved as long as that medication isn't on their declinable drug list. The next company we looked at, Company B, has a 5-year look-back period. So, they're going to go back 5 years. They're going to be really strict on cancer, internal cancer. So that's when they look back for internal cancer, to elaborate, they're talking about prostate cancer, which is a very common one, breast cancer, cancer of the kidneys, cancer of the liver, all the different organ type cancers, lung cancer. They do also, this company looks back for malignant melanoma, and they extend it to Hodgkin's disease and lymphoma. Not sure if the first company was including Hodgkin's and lymphoma in their internal cancer, exclusion, but that's possible. We'd have to look further into that in a certain case. Going to the next company, this is an interesting one. They have a 5-year look-back period for internal cancer, leukemia, and malignant melanoma. However, there's no declinable drug list, so the treatment during that 5-year period doesn't include, if you've taken this medication in the last 5 years, you're going to be declined. It's basically, have you been treated for it in other ways during that period. So the next company, Company D, has a 2-year look-back period. So this is the narrowest look-back period of any company that I've looked at. They're going to go back for internal cancer, lymphoma, and melanoma, but they're only going to look back 2 years. They do have a declinable drug list, and so they can, use their discretion on certain medications you're taking, but only within the last 2 years. Actually, with this company, I've gotten a lot of people who had breast cancer with mastectomy a few years ago approved. Last company I'll look at has 2 different levels of premiums. So in certain circumstances, someone's Medicare supplement is costing them so much that we can actually save them money by getting them what we refer to as a substandard or a level 2 premium. This company On their level 1 premium, so their better premium, their preferred premium, has a 3-year look-back period for cancer. They refer to it as cancer other than skin cancer, leukemia or lymphoma or melanoma. And this goes for all of these as well. When they look at melanoma, they're talking about actual melanoma, not just your routine skin cancer removal that, if companies were declining for that, we would have an extremely high decline rate. Their level 2 or substandard premium, as far as cancer is concerned, as long as you are not pending surgery for cancer. Now, this means that we actually have gotten people who are currently diagnosed with cancer as long as they have not been advised to have any surgery that has not been done. So, with this company specifically, you can actually get approved while having certain types of cancer. Specifically, I can remember cases where we've gotten people with prostate cancer approved with them as long as they have not been recommended to have any surgery, they're not pending any surgery. That doesn't mean that if they did come up with a surgery later that the doctors required them to have, that it wouldn't pay for it. They just don't want them pending it when they approve the application. So that's kind of a diverse look across the board at 5 very large Medicare supplement companies. These are all AM Best A and B rated companies. I see 3 of them that are A rated companies and 2 that are B, and they're very, very good companies. And these are different underwriting criteria. So I always tell people that it's best to call the number on your screen right now, 1-800-462-3980. If you don't get me, leave me a voicemail. I will call you back, and we can figure out, based on your health history, based on your situation, what's the best thing for us to do for you. There's no reason to pay more for a Medicare supplement. There's no reason to pay more than you have to. Just because a company was really good and paid all of your claims during a certain time doesn't mean you should struggle to pay your utilities or your rent to keep that company around when you may be able to get the same plan for less money. So call us. We're the underwriting experts at Brock & Credit Insurance, also known as the Medigap broker. Give me a call, 1-800-462-3980. Thank you.